In recent news, after nearly a year of silence surrounding the legal battle that had overshadowed his streaming career, Rich Campbell has finally broken his silence, and it comes with major closure. In a recent stream, Rich shares his thoughts on the situation that happened in the following clip.
I think a lot of you kind of already heard me talk about this on that last little test stream, but I'm just going to say it again, and then I'm never going to talk about it again. It's been, what, maybe 3 years? It's been a long time since I actually streamed after everything happened, right? That was a very deliberate choice to do that. Really wanted to handle everything through the proper legal channels. I didn't want to go through social media. I didn't view it as content, and I didn't want anyone else to view it as content. I saw people posting YouTube videos, people reacting to court filings, and a lot of people reached out the entire time. The way that people reached out to me, there was this like narrative that I was like dead and destitute and just like, honestly, most of what people said to me was actually quite nice, and people messaged me for, you know, the entirety of the 3 years. So I do want to say thank you a lot for that. Even the fact that everybody's like back here now, like I can't even put into words. You know, I'm happy that I can now go live and say that everything is officially resolved. I think that you already saw that, but you know, to reiterate, all the legal cases have been dismissed. No money was offered to anyone. That's about it. That's really all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to talk about it again on stream. I'm really focused on, you know, moving on with my life, moving on with my career. I appreciate, you know, respecting everyone's privacy. And, you know, I really went into this last time, and, you know, I really do want to do it again. Look, I appreciate support, but I don't condone wishing anyone harm or threatening people's well-being. You know, sadly, I'm not surprised that I have to say this, because I think that the internet can be a really horrible place, but that's not support. Like, don't threaten to harm people, threaten people, especially in my name. That's not what I want. Like, don't do that. Like, I seriously, like, I really want to move on. I'm not going to be talking about it anymore.
After a period of uncertainty and speculation, this statement marks the first moment both parties appear aligned in closure. No settlements, no ongoing litigation, and no public animosity. It signals a potential turning point for Rich as he contemplates returning to streaming without the shadow of legal proceedings behind him. In recent news, during TwitchCon San Diego 2025, Emiru, well known in the streaming and cosplay communities, experienced a shocking incident on stage. In the aftermath of the incident, Emiru stated that she wanted a resolution that avoided lengthy legal proceedings and approached Twitch with a list of demands, among them a public apology and meaningful reform. Twitch accepted the demands, agreeing to donate $100,000 to a violence prevention charity, as Emiru confirmed during a recent livestream in the following clip.
Sorry, I haven't streamed in a while. I feel so awkward. People were recommending a lot of different things, but I didn't really want to drag it out. And I also wanted there to be some kind of like public resolution, since it was a public issue. And then if you take things to court, they tend to become private. And I was like, that's not really what I want to do. So, I basically asked them for a list of things, and they agreed to all of them. And I think you guys like probably saw some of the tweets that they made. And they mentioned it in one of the tweets, but one of the things that I asked for that was like important to me was I asked if they would do a $100,000 donation to a violence protection charity, and they said yes. So they're probably gonna do that in about a month, and they'll post about that when they do that.
What happened to the guy who did it? I never heard any follow-up news on that front. Investigation's still going on, but she said it's going good, so the dude's almost definitely getting charged. Legal made the unfortunate note that kissing mouth-to-mouth doesn't fall under California SA law, so it might not hold up in court. After the clip, she said they agreed to the whole list, which is very nice of them. I would rather say it showed how scared they were if they don't even negotiate of the $100K to a charity of her choice. And a public apology is a lot cheaper than what they could have owed her had she taken them to court and won. There's definitely more that they agreed to that she can't speak about. I think the key will be if she and other big streamers go to or attend next year's TC. In other news, Hasan arrived in Beijing on November 10th, 2025, with a crew and set out to live stream the iconic flag-raising ceremony at Tiananmen Square, the daily military ritual in front of the large portrait of Mao Zedong. As the group waited for the ceremony, Hasan's cameraman pulled out a phone showing a meme. Hasan's face superimposed on a portrait of Chairman Mao, labelled with a slogan reminiscent of China's ideological language. Suddenly, blue lights appeared in the background and Chinese security officials approached. They asked the crew to cover their camera lens and to hand over their phones for inspection. A translator relayed the officer's question. He wants to see the photo. The cameraman said he hadn't taken a photo yet, just held the phone out. The officer then asked if anything had been recorded. Within minutes, the live stream went dark. The broadcast was interrupted for about 5 to 10 minutes. When the stream resumed, Hasan discussed the encounter. He speculated that wearing a bright yellow jacket and filming inside such a highly symbolic space might have triggered suspicion. He admitted the guard likely thought they were making jokes at the ceremony. He said they thought they saw something on the phone. They thought we were making a mockery. They didn't realize that we love China. Despite the interruption, Hasan surprisingly praised the Chinese officers, saying that compared to many Western police forces, they were not even remotely up there in terms of misconduct. He said the further west you go, the worse cops get.
But I think the younger populations in China are, ironically enough, less aware. Like the younger normies are less aware of the animosity that exists, which shouldn't exist at all, obviously, but unfortunately does. And it's almost entirely one-sided. We're white. So as foreigners in China at this like national event rather than an international one, where as you guys noticed, like they didn't have any like foreigners there at all. He thought he saw something on the phone. Like he thought we were like making a mockery. You know what I mean?
He got stopped in his phone, search for potential anti-China stuff, so enforcing censorship, then defends it. Does that happen? You should probably wait for him to go home before like hearing a take about this, and he's still in the country. China doesn't work like all the other countries. Every country is different. China has their own way of proceeding or whatever. I mean, I don't expect him to have a take exactly what he wants it to be until he gets home. I don't think that's crazy to say, no?
But yeah, it's just
guys, I don't blame him for it because he's in a different country, but if he was in America and this happened in America, that's it. His next 35 streams would be about this every day. He would milk the fact, he'd be like, yo, this is insane. This is authoritarian. This is not okay. This is not right. This, I mean, dude, we're talking about a phone search is like end game shit. I mean, take for example, Chad, the event where he got stuck at the airport apparently, or something like that, right?
which you are.
Fair, he do whatever he wants, but he made a pretty big deal about it.
Just birthed my
That's like
son.
10 times worse than that
To the
scale.
jungle.
A cop in the US cannot even go through your phone, even if they put you in custody. They have to go get a warrant from a judge. Like Hasan and his fans live in an online echo chamber and don't know shit about real life. It is incredible hypocrisy for this guy to claim to care about the lives of Muslims and then go as a tourist to a country that imprisons hundreds of thousands of Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps and makes them do forced labor. Michaela has future plans for Tyler 1 and their children.
Guys, there's no common law here. Did you know that? So even if we broke up, I wouldn't get money. So relax. Well, I would get child support. So my plan is, if we do break up, I get the child support and I just direct deposit it into my account so that my kids do not see it. It just goes right into my account. I don't have to explain nothing to the court. I'll just be like, yo, I'm using it on my kids, I swear. And then I'm just gonna go buy whatever I want. That's fuck the kids. Let them starve. I don't care.
Rest in peace.